Right, hey guys, remember CCG back in the video. So there's a brand new archetype that was just revealed named Dragontail, and we're going to go over it here, beginning with Dragontail Lucius, which is an Earth Spellcaster effect low 4 monster. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Dragontail monster from your deck to your hand, so it's a normal searcher. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a fusion you summon, you can set one Dragontail spell or trap from your deck. Very simple card, but pretty effective. You usually see this on a lot of decks. Just a searcher, and then not only that, but you can use this to set a spell or trap. So it's a 2-in-1 combo, and it's a level 4 monster. And then here we have Dragontail Phimena, which is a water spellcaster effect monster, level 5. During the main phase quick effect, you can discard this card, fusion summon one dragon or spellcaster fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as material. And if this card is sent to a graveyard as material for a fusion summon, you can set one Dragontail spell trap from your hand. So this is going to be your way of fusion summoning. I wonder if we're going to get a fusion spell, if it's just going to be purely monster fusion summon like this. Otherwise, again, you can set a Dragontail spell or trap, and it looks like there's a lot of emphasis on these spells and traps, so I'm sure they're going to be pretty solid. And here we have Dragontail Parn, which is a wind dragon effect monster. If this card is sent to a graveyard as material for a fusion summon, you can set one Dragontail spell or trap from your deck, and then you can destroy one monster in the field. So set something just like the other ones and then pop something. That's nice. If a face-up fusion monster you control is destroyed by opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can place this card on the bottom of your deck, and if you do, you can special summon one non-gen Dragontail monster from your graveyard. So just some recursion that you can get out of this. Seems okay. So far, none of the effects are pretty overpowered. We just see that there's two effects stacked onto each of these. A searcher built into each of them for the spell and trap. Looks decent, just nothing too crazy. And here we have Dragontail Ogra, which is a fire dragon effect monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a fusion summon, you can set one Dragontail spell or trap for your deck. Then you can destroy one spell or trap on the field. So again, spell and traps, searcher, and then being able to pop a card in the field is solid. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one spellcaster Dragontail monster in your graveyard and place this card in the bottom of the deck. And if you do add that monster, so some recursion as well. And now here we can actually see one of the fusion monsters. So this is Dragontail Altharion, which is an Earth Dragon Fusion effect monster that's level 8, 3000 attack. It requires one Dragontail monster and one monster in the hand. So it looks like you're going to have to fusion summon using something like this, being able to discard it, using monster from your hand or field as material. This is kind of weird because this card doesn't count itself for the fusion summon, as you're using this to discard in order to fusion summon, which sucks just because it costs you another resource in the hand. But hopefully this card is pretty solid. If this card is fusion summoned, you can target monsters on the field and or in any graveyard up to a number of monsters used as material in the hand and return them to the hand. So this is pretty solid just because of the problem that I covered earlier of using so many materials. Fusion summon this, target a bunch of monsters on the field and their grave, and return them to the hand so you can have some recursion. Seems solid. And then if two or more monsters are sent to the graveyard at the same time while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So they could be sent at the same time because of a fusion summon, and thus you can get this card out if you fusion summon after this card has been destroyed. So it seems like a solid addition just because you are going to want to get that fusion material back, fusion summon once again, and then bring this card back out. And then here we have Dragontail Grammel, which is a water spellcaster fusion effect monster. It requires one Dragontail monster and one monster in the hand. When you activate a Dragontail card or effect, quick effect, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. And then if two or more monsters are sent to the graveyard at the same time while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card and banish it when it leaves the field. So same as before, you're able to revive it back onto the board, and it can provide a decent amount of value. Nothing too crazy though, especially because it's a once per turn destruction effect as the first effect. Seems okay overall. And then here we have Kitu Dragontail, which is a normal spell card. You can add one Dragontail monster from your deck to your hand. Then if your opponent controls a monster, you can fusion summon one dragon or spellcaster monster for your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. So it's a searcher with a fusion aspect to it. Seems pretty interesting. We usually don't see that. I've never really seen like a Rota card for an archetype that's also able to fusion summon. So of course that's nice. Use this, search something out, and then because you have something in your hand that's a Dragontail monster, you can use that for the fusion summon. And then here we have Rahu Dragontail, which is a normal spell card. You can fusion summon one Dragontail fusion monster for your extra deck using monsters from your hand, deck, and or field as material. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, except for fusion monsters. So this here is just another fusion card. But being able to use fusion materials from the deck, again, is really good just because you're going to be using resources from your hand. So using fusion materials from the deck is nice, and it's just going to give you a bit more freedom. And now we have Dragontail Horn, which you can target one attack position monster, return it to the hand, extra deck. Then you can place one Dragontail card from your graveyard and or banishment to the bottom of the deck. Then draw a card. Seems okay. It's just, it is interesting. A lot of the cards in this archetype just feel a little dated. They don't seem too overpowered. I do kind of have to see it play out. but it does seem like we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh that what, like maybe 5-6 years ago, just based on how these cards are kind of read. But maybe there's enough in there to just kind of let it pop off. I really have to play with it to see, but nothing too overpowered, at least on paper. Then you can target one face-up spell on the field, negate its effects until the end of its turn. Then you can place one Dragon Tail card from your graveyard or banishment onto the bottom of the deck, and then draw a card. So again, some recursion built into it and being able to negate a spell, face-up spell on the field. Overall, this seems like a pretty okay archetype, nothing too crazy. Dragon Tail, it's a dragon archetype, so if you guys do like dragon archetypes, that's pretty cool. It does kind of remind me of Dragon Maids in the sense that we do have the humans here as the lower dragons, and then the actual dragon type monsters as the higher level dragon. But otherwise, let me know what you guys think about this new archetype and if you think it's good at all. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.